Before we start the video, I just want to announce about my new initiative for the Seahorse Trust. I'm designing Seahorse merch, mainly t-shirts and hoodies. First one was no bright lights please, which has sold quite successfully to date. And now I've decided to contact designers around the world and see if they'll do limited edition designs for the Seahorse Trust. The first is by Justin Carmack, aka Critter Hunter of YouTube fame. Check out his channel, and he's designed this shirt for us now. It's limited to 100 items, so there's only t-shirts or hoodies. So once we've sold 100, that design is no longer available, and that explains why it's slightly higher priced than the other items. So please help me support the Seahorse Trust and buy some merch. Now let's get into it. Hi everyone, Brian Davies Scuba. And before we get into it, please, can you hit the like and subscribe button? It means a lot to me. I'm nearly at my 1,000 viewers. I'm not sure I'm going to monetize the channel because the ads annoy me like they probably annoy you. I'm still in full-time work, so I don't need to make money off YouTube. I'd rather try and improve the viewing experience for you, so I'd appreciate that. So just another quick Paralenz video. I'm off to the Maldives tomorrow. I was just checking the Paralenz Vaquita website, and they've done a firmware upgrade. I've not had an email or anything from anyone about this, but I just had a quick check. So what we've done, we've taken off the cap, we've powered up the Paralenz. I've deleted the SD card, but just to be safe, I'm just going to reformat it so we know it's ready for firmware upgrade, right? So, and I guess it would tell us when the card's reformat. There we go, it restarts. So we've reformatted the card, so it should be really easy now to upgrade the firmware via the app. So we've got to go to the app. Let's go onto the app. Let's press camera, press Vaquita. Right, and we want to connect. So there we go. Just go to settings, start Wi-Fi, right. Connect on device. So I'll go back to settings, yeah, let me forget that one and reconnect. Yep, it's there. Right, now it's asking for the password. We're still on settings on the camera. So now when we go to the app and we go to camera, see I'm pressing camera, it says I don't want to re-import dives, I want to be connected. So let's disconnect again. Let's press Vaquita. Let's press connect. Right, here we are. Right, it's telling us has been prepared and is ready for transfer. Great, tap to install. So we're connecting to the camera. Right, I'll press connect. It's updating camera, will restart. Fantastic. So what have they changed? It's quite interesting. The first one is they've improved the video quality. I don't know how they've done that, but any quality improvement has got to be welcomed. They've also very, very sneakily included a 720 resolution. The reason for that will be evident in a minute. It's a bit sneaky. I really don't agree with the reason. I'm glad it's there, but I don't agree with why they've done it. We'll talk about that in a second. They've also, remember, right in the early days, this H2265 was problematic. I couldn't download the add-on from Microsoft. They would only let me do it if I was in America or Canada. Guess what? We've now got H264. Thank you, Paralenz. They do listen to their customers, and that's one of the things I really like about the company. Split video files, 2 GB. I guess once it gets to 2 GB, it just starts a new file automatically. So that's good. Now, let's talk about the 720 resolution issue. Very sneaky. You can see here why they've done it. Look at this table. They claim you get 3 hours, right? They told me we were going to get 3 hours at 1080, 30 FPS, right? And their product manager said, he commented, we bought it up. Well, guess what? It wasn't true, folks. So what they've done now, they've come up with a 720 resolution at 30 frames per second. You'll get 3 hours. At my favorite, 180, 60, because we can handle the video files easier. I know a lot of people like 4K, 2.7K, but for YouTube videos in particular, it's just too much work. For the professional YouTubers, I know they're really good at handling those files and they've got really good computers and all of that. But for me and Ria, 1080 is ideal. And we're at 60 frames per second because then we can slow down footage to make a scene look a bit longer. If we've got something interesting, say something swims in and we just record it, we can only get 10 or 20 seconds of footage, or even 5. We can make it last a bit longer. The time for that is 2 hours. So my tests are validated. Right, but we're not letting them off the hook. You know what I do every time there's a firmware update? We retest the battery life. Now I've got data, I'm only going to test it at 1080 60 frames per second, because if I get the 2 hours, I'm meeting their specifications. So let's see the first footage from the new dock. I haven't seen many fish around, but the visibility is much clearer. So here we go, we're putting the camera in. The underwater on the dock was boring, you know, no fish. I don't know why. The water's clean. We didn't put any fish food down or anything, so we'll have to try and figure out how to get some fish to come round when we put the Paralenz in for battery life tests. But what a disappointment. 1 hour 16 minutes at 1080 60 frames per second. They've told us 2. I don't know what's going on. You know, I was really excited that we got the battery life issue sorted out there in the open. I'm not very happy with it, really. You know, I'm off to the Maldives. I might be in the water for an hour, so that means I've got to try and get it again fully charged with a couple of our 2-3 hour surface interval. Anyway, it is what it is. Just a quick update on the firmware and the Vaquita. I've obviously arrived here in the Maldives, as you can see, and I have to say, really disappointed with the firmware upgrade. Battery life is rubbish. I'm using a quarter of the battery just by filming, you know, say maximum 10 minutes on a dive. That's really inconvenient because I'm so worried about the battery life. I'm having to charge the camera between dives. And on the 3rd dive yesterday, I charged the camera. We were in a bit of a rush. I left the end cap in my room and got on the boat. And I was only using the Paralenz yesterday, the Vaquita yesterday, because it was the first day. I didn't want to rig up my frame. I just used it handheld. And yes, I got no footage for the 3rd dive, but luckily John came to my rescue at another dive and he's got some footage. The other thing I've noticed, the response now from the Vaquita is very sluggish. It takes a while to go in to switch on the video, and it takes a while to take it off, which is again disappointing, because if you see something and you're trying to conserve battery life, you actually want to switch it on and have it start filming virtually straight away. So that's the update from the Maldives. I did delay the upload of the firmware video just to get this to you. Thanks for watching. I could do with some more subscribers, so tell your friends, and we'll see you next time.